What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be working on two iPhones, both water damaged devices. We have an iPhone 13 Pro. According to the customer, this no longer works. Don't know what that means. We'll test it. He said this one fell in a jacuzzi and for a few minutes. The problem with this one is it has cracks on the screen. I'm not sure if you can tell on the camera just yet. It has a few cracks on the screen. Falling in water with cracks on the screen is not a good idea. Definitely a problem. Second device, I think I may make a separate video on this one. This is an iPhone 11 Pro. It does work. You can see condensation in the camera. However, he is complaining and stating that it's just acting weird. It doesn't open apps, speaker doesn't work. I mean, water damage is always unpredictable. Now, not many places take in water damaged devices. We do, for the sake of data recovery for customers. We don't typically like to repair them or touch them to their full extent just because they are unpredictable. We can get this job, fix it, and give it back to the customer, and something else may happen at any point in time. So we tell the customer there's no warranty on any water damaged devices. It does complicate things. So in this case, the phone doesn't turn on, so we're just going to get this device to turn on in a condition where customer can extract data if they want or continue to use a device at their own discretion. So let's get started. Okay, so what we have here is the iPhone 13 Pro. You can tell there's condensation right here on the camera area. It looks like there was water that dried off right here. When we see this, we can easily tell that the device is water damaged. In most cases, Face ID will stop functioning. I did notice this indication right here on the back. Customer said they charged their device and this appeared. So I'm thinking something sparked inside the phone that caused that, which is pretty interesting. You don't get to see these too often. So, and then right here, there's like a brown marker. You can probably see on that reflection right there. So let's get this device opened up and see what's going on. Now, before we open up devices, we like to take a look at if it's drawing any amps. I have yet to test this device. This one just came in about like 5 minutes ago. So we're gonna plug it in. That's a good amp draw. Oh, 1.25, and there it is. Oh, wow. Phone does turn on. White screen could be, looks like it's a bad screen. That's all he needs. 2.36 amp draw is a very healthy amp draw. This tells us that the battery is completely drained and it is drawing full amp to charge this phone. So that's not bad at all. Have high hopes for this phone. Okay, let's get going. Let's go ahead and remove the two pentalobe screws at the very bottom. We get these devices all the time, and when it comes to water damage, it is very unpredictable, honestly. We tell customers this all the time, so we're going to have to heat this phone up. We're going to put it on the heating mat. Alright, phone is pretty hot to the touch. Let's go ahead and start removing the screen. Now, this is probably the very first YouTube video that we post here. You'll start to see in the future that we use the razor often when we're opening up devices. This is our go-to when we open up devices. We like using the razor a lot, so if you are doing this at home, please be very careful not to damage the phone or any device that you're working on for that matter, and also not to cut yourself. We do have a lot of experience with razors and such, so I like to use a razor just to create a gap so I can put the pick in. Once the pick is in, we just start cutting around the adhesive. So you can tell I have my fingernail in the gap and I like to cut around. And then we'll cut around here to the other side. Don't put the pick too deep in. You just want to cut right around the edges, just like that. And honestly, I have this much in, barely anything. Okay, so once the phone is opened up just like this, don't rip it off. You can tell there's a cable right here. See that cable? So be very careful. What we're going to do is we'll open it right like so, and then we'll open up halfway and push to the left, creating a gap opening right there in the corner, like so. It makes it easier to open. And then now push the phone screen to the right. It creates that opening right here, and bam, it opens up. Right off the bat, you can tell water damage, the red indicator right there, and there's another one underneath that cable right here. So let's go ahead and get this going. These are tri-tip Weiss screws. There's 3 right here, all the same size. You always want to make sure you keep your screws organized all the time. A lot of people tend to just throw their screws aside and ruin everything. I just unplugged the battery. Always, the very first thing you do is unplug this battery. This is the cable that goes from the display to the motherboard of the phone. So this is the display cable. We're going to go ahead and remove one more cable right here. So you can tell I'm pointing on with the tool. This cable is connected to the phone, and this is the proxy cable. So let's go ahead and unscrew it. This does use 2 different types of screw bits. You have the tri-tip Y screw. There's 2 of them. And then we have just a standard Phillips screw. Now do keep in mind when you're removing these screws, organize them. Organize them in the way that they are formatted on the device. So as you can tell, right here on my workbench, on the magnet, what's this? Oh, interesting. What's not supposed to happen? Probably water. So I have this oriented just like the 4 screws. The top goes to top, bottom goes to bottom, bottom goes to bottom, top goes to top. So orient them in a manner that you know how to put them back in. So all we're going to be doing right now is just testing a new screen and seeing if a new screen resolves this customer's problem. So let's go ahead and test it. So all you need to do to test a new screen is just test the display cable. You don't need the proxy cable to test. Okay. Turn it on. Looks like it's working. It's just telling us it needs to be charged. Very good. I think we got very lucky with this repair. We're going to go ahead and throw this on the charger, and let's look at the amp draw. If it hits and above 1, oh, well, there it is, 2.35. That's exactly what we're looking for. If it hits 2.35 amp draw, that tells us this phone is just charging on an empty battery. So it's got a, right there. Very good. We're going to let this phone charge just for a little bit, and then we'll come back to it. Obviously, please just let us know what we should enhance in our videos. I am expecting probably 1 or 2 viewers on this video, so even if they got to this point in time, that'd be pretty surprising. But nonetheless, we are planning on dropping a lot more videos, hopefully daily, hopefully at least weekly, at least once a week. We do pretty much all tech repairs here. We do phones, computers, laptops, tablets. We do a lot of unusual repairs too. We worked on car parts and such, so nonetheless, I mean, if you found this entertaining or if you want to learn more, please just subscribe, like, and drop us a comment, and give us any thorough feedback, please. Alright, so back to the repair. Looks like the phone is turning on. See that there's a glare on the screen here. And good news. And it's fully responsive. Very good. Now, what I'd like to test when it comes to water damage devices, as I mentioned, they are unpredictable. I'm not a big fan of trusting them on the get-go. Trusting them right there on the spot. So even though I do see it on, that does tell us that data is still there because the passcode is here Sometimes they panic, meaning the phone will start restarting every 3 to 4 or 5 minutes or so. So we want to make sure it does not reset. If I had the passcode to this device, I'd go ahead and put on a timer and just time it myself. But in this case, we'll just take a look and wait and see if it does actually restart or not. So I'll keep my eye on this, and hopefully it's good to go. And you guys can see as well if this phone does restart, if it does just Apple logo appear out of nowhere or not. So we'll just keep an eye out. Alright, so we gave a call to the customer. We wanted to update them. For now, we kind of, look, as you can tell, it's been about 4 minutes and has yet to restart. I do think everything is fine. I think that's all what the customer needed was just a screen. And phone's not overheating from what I can tell. Now, this phone can still have other issues such as Face ID, which I would probably take. Now, even though the phone does turn on, it is likely to have other problems. Water damage is, again, unpredictable. So on the camera area at the very front, you can tell there's condensation clearly. Right here, there's condensation, and there's a bunch of watermarks inside. And also, in addition to that, there was something on the back of the device. So these are things that we always tell customers, like, hey, you know, we'll work on the water damaged device for you, but please do keep in mind there could be other issues, especially with the Face ID having, or the front camera having condensation on it. We do expect that the Face ID not to work once the customer opens up the phone. In most cases, it should say that Face ID is not working once we turn on the device, but in this case, it did not. So it seems like it could be working. It's hard for me to say. It is drawing at very healthy amp draw. Phone is turning on and is responsive, and it has yet to panic. Panicking is, as I mentioned earlier, it's when the phone checks itself every 3 to 4 minutes to make sure all of its symptoms are fine, all the sensors are okay, and if something does go wrong, it restarts itself. And in this case, it did not. So that's a pretty good plus in this case. I think the customer got lucky here. We're going to go ahead and wait for the customer. We'll just close this up for now and then wait for the customer, and I think we'll end the video here. If you have any questions or concerns, please let us know. Tell us what you guys thought about this video. Have you ever had a device drop in water in the ocean of that sort? And if so, did you end up fixing it? What happened? I'm pretty sure you had some very unusual symptoms yourself. Drop us a comment, let us know, like and subscribe. This is probably our first YouTube video, so we'd highly appreciate it. And please, constructive criticism is always welcome. Thank you.